Mental enrichment is as important to your dog as physical exercise. Mental enrichment is basically brain games or opportunities for your dogs to think. So as we provide more mental enrichment to them throughout the day, we'll find that in general, they will begin to become more relaxed and calm, and they will be easier to live with. So I wanted to give you some ideas of how you can provide mental enrichment for your dog. One of the easiest ways to do that is at mealtime. So rather than simply putting food and putting it in a bowl, putting it on the floor, and letting your dog come and eat, you can leverage that food to get better behavior from your dog by providing a chance for her to use her brain. So examples of how to do that might be using something like a snuffle mat. So a snuffle mat is simply a bunch of fleece strips that have been woven together into a heavy rubber base. And what you would do is you would take the dog's kibble and you would simply put it down deep in amongst all of these fleece strips so that your dog can smell the food, but they can't see it. So they can begin to snuffle around in the snuffle mat, find their food, and begin to feed themselves. So this is a fun way to have a dog eat their meal. Remember that if you have a dog that has a tendency to chew, particularly mouthy little puppies, you'll want to give this with supervision and remove it once they have eaten the food out of it, so it doesn't become an expensive chew toy. You can also use things like this, which is simply a food stuffable toy. You have the ability to put the food in here, and then your dog is able to manipulate this toy to figure out how to get the food to come out of it. So whether they're nosing it along, whether they're batting it with their feet, using their mouths to pick it up and drop it. So here again, we give them a chance to problem solve and figure out how to get the things out of this type of a toy. One of the easiest ways that we can provide mental enrichment is by using a Kong. So this is an example of the classic Kong. This has been around for many years, and it's beloved by a lot of dog trainers as well as dog owners. And one of the reasons for that is because it is a super simple way for dogs to begin to learn how to use toys and mental enrichment to feed themselves. So in teaching dogs how to use this, we start out by providing one that is appropriate for their bite strength. So we have here the Kong Extreme, the black Kong. That is a bit more indestructible than the classic red Kong. So we're providing the black Kong. And to teach puppies how to use this, we start out by putting a few pieces right here in the mouth of it. We let those kind of drop in there and we set it down. We let the puppy figure out how to get the food out of it. Once they've kind of gotten that down, then we start to put a little smear just inside the lip of this of something really tempting. So it might be wet dog food, for example. They learn that they can lick that out of here. Then we start combining those two things. Eventually we get to the point where we are able to put their meal in here, or at least part of their meal in here, seal this with something delectable, and then freeze it. So that would give your dog a chance to get the food out of here, but it would take them time. So it's going to slow them down as far as eating, and we want to make sure that dogs do have a chance to eat more slowly in a more measured way rather than gobbling everything down and maybe having stomach problems later on. So we can use the Kong for that. We also have ways to provide super easy little games for dogs. And one of the favorite ways that I like to do that is by joining a Facebook group called Canine Enrichment. It's spelled out C-A-N-I-N-E, Canine Enrichment. It's about 300,000 people worldwide who are uploading little videos and pictures and descriptions of the little games and activities they come up with for their dogs. The express purpose of providing mental enrichment and improving their quality of life every single day.